Hey everybody, here I am soaking wet. I just got out of the tub. And so I'm here to help guys. So everybody has been through so much with the COVID scenario. It's been a long time since I posted something, and to me this is a new era. I have new motivations, and as I said, I'm here to help. So I titled this Money, Batman, Iron Man, the stock market, and the real enemy. Why did I do that? Okay, because in this scenario, what got hit the hardest for most people? Their finances, their business, their job. So I'm going to tell you in my story, I sacrificed a lot. I worked really hard to build up businesses, investments, things like that, right? And when COVID hit, businesses shut down, guess what? My income dropped by 80%. Now, I know some people's income dropped by 100%, okay? Some people's dropped by a little, 80%. Now, put that in perspective. If you're making $1,000 a week, 80%, you're now at $200 a week. If you're making $100,000 a year, which is a good income for middle-class American, maybe that's upper middle class, somewhere in there, something like that, right? That would be like $100,000 income dropping to $20,000, which is going from a solid, good, upper middle class income down to basically the poorhouse, 20,000. People can't survive on 20,000 unless they live maybe on a farmhouse in Kansas. Okay, so what does this have to do with Batman and Iron Man? So Batman and Iron Man, they're superheroes, right? But they don't have any superpowers, like physical superpowers, heat vision, anything like that. But their real power is their mind, okay? And what do? They have fantastic wealth. And what did they do with that wealth, okay? They were able to channel the skills that they have using their finances to make them into superheroes, okay? To go beyond what they could do if they didn't have any money. All right, that's one of the things and the importance of having money in this world, that it's an amplifier, okay? It's an opportunity creator. So if you have a skill, any skill set, and you have money, you can enhance that skill. So if you have, like, let's say Iron Man, engineering prowess, and you have lots of money, well, what can you do with that? Okay, now you can get all the materials, the lab, this and that, right? So as Batman, you can make gadgets and everything. Okay, so money is incredibly important in this life. The other thing that Batman and Iron Man have in common is both Wayne Enterprises, Stark Industries, okay, have in the mythos, they have their stocks, okay? So what's the importance of the stock market? All right, one of the things that happened to me is that when my business investments got crushed because of the shutdown and I was having virtually no income, the thing that saved me, well, was that I did have savings, okay, is that the stock market came down and I said, okay, this is my opportunity. This is my opportunity to save myself and put myself in a better situation. I'm going to take the risk with everything I saved and start putting it in the stock market, okay? So I did when it was its scariest and it started going up. And I was studying the stock market 16 to 20 hours a day. I was barely sleeping. I was reading probably 50 articles a day, talking to other people, professionals, reaching out, okay? And I started making money from that. Meanwhile, I was having no income, virtually no income from my regular business income. That was shut down. So the only thing that was elevating me was the fact that financially was the fact that I was involved in the stock market, okay? So I'm going to tell you a couple amazing things about the stock market. It's virtual, okay? It's not at a store. Even when they shut down Wall Street, it was still running, okay? So in my opinion, everybody in the United States should be involved in the stock market. And it's the great financial equalizer, because I want you to realize this. All of the things, I have to do a little bit of a pec squeeze here, right? See the lighting. Everybody, it's been a long time since I posted. I want everyone to see that even in the COVID period, I still stayed in shape, okay? I wasn't in shape the whole time. I actually got out of shape initially. All right, all the gyms shut down and I was actually kind of down and just stressed and everything. It took me a while to get back, but so everybody can see. right? It's there, okay? So it's important, you know, our health is super important. And one of the things, a note on that, we all have immune systems. The government wants to push this vaccine. If you have a healthy immune system, do not put something in your body that is a foreign substance if you have an immune system. If you have a severely compromised immune system, I understand that. If you're really sick, I understand that. But you know what? I don't take the flu shot. Most people don't take the flu shot, all right? I'm not recommending that vaccine. Normally, vaccines require 5 to 10 years of testing to see that there's no long-term negative effects. If you have an immune system, allow it to be tested. It's important. It keeps it healthy. It's like your muscles, once you build them, you have to keep training them, otherwise they go away. Your immune system needs to be tested. And for healthy people, all the COVID is a flu. Do your research. I did. Anyway, so to continue, getting into the stock market, it basically made me like a superhero, like Iron Man, like Batman, growing my wealth in a way from savings. It's important to save up, everybody, okay? Because one of the things is that literally was my saving grace, that over the last 20 years, I had been putting money aside, all right, and not spending frivolously and things like that. So I had money when this hit. So luckily I was able to survive, because I couldn't survive on a 20% income. Like, that's just ridiculous. That's not sustainable. Okay. Like I said, imagine you work up to making 100,000 a year and now you're making 20,000 a year. Ridiculous. Okay. So what I realized is that now there was this opportunity, and even though the stock market crash is over in terms of the crash part, there are still a lot of opportunities in the stock market. There are still a lot of depressed assets in the stock market. And you ask yourself, all these big businesses that are considered essential, that are still running, they're making money. And for all of you out there that are struggling, trying to figure out how you're going to make money, if you have savings, when you put it in the stock market, well, what's happening? All those big businesses that are successful, that are considered essential, they're paying you. That's a dream scenario. When you think about who's making the most money in this period, Amazon, Walmart, those are the two companies that received the most amount of orders during the entire COVID period. And during these new shutdowns that are going on as of late November 2020, there's extra shutdowns. Who stays open? Amazon and Walmart. Okay, Target does too. Look at those stocks. You want to go on Yahoo Finance or finviz.com or stockcharts.com and look at those. Look at the charts of Amazon, AMZN, Walmart, WMT, or Apple, AAPL, Target, TGT, all right? How are those stocks doing? They're doing amazing. They're doing amazing, okay? And that's a manipulation right there. So guess what? Put your money with the people that are doing amazing and let these big businesses pay you. You deserve that money. The government has taken your money, taken your businesses, taken your opportunities, but other opportunities exist, because anytime in life that energy is taken from one place, it's put somewhere else. Energy cannot be created nor destroyed. We all learned that as kids, right? Okay, so it's the same thing with money. There is a finite amount of money in the world. It simply circulates in different places. So you want to look and go, where is the money going? Because you deserve to have that money. What the government has done is abusive, and it's wrong, and it's, you know, I'll tell you something. Whether or not you are for Trump or for Biden, attention does not need to go to these politicians. The politicians, the government is the enemy, like the title here. They are the real enemy. COVID is affecting such a minute percentage of the population, but the government is negatively affecting nearly 100% of the population. I want you to think about that. COVID affects those who are already very ill, very, like an almost infinitesimal amount of healthy people ever got strangely affected by COVID, okay? It is the very sick. I'm gonna tell you a stat. 50% of the people that died of COVID were already dying. And this just pushed them over the edge. 25% of people in the United States were in nursing homes, the ones that either died or, you know, had to go to the ICU, things like that. I know about 1,000 people between IG, in person, maybe more than 1,000 people. Guess what? Out of all of those people, one person died, and that person was obese, out of shape, had other medical problems. No one else is dead. So what is 1 out of 1,000 if you just take me as a case? Well, 1 out of 100 is 1%. 1 out of 1,000 is 0.1%. And guess what? The amount that die is less than 0.1%. So anyway, I want you to think about this. COVID negatively affects a tiny percent, but the government and their mandates and all of this has dramatically negatively affected nearly 100% of people. Only then a small percent are not negatively affected, and that's certain essential businesses. Amazon, Walmart, Target, Apple. I mean, the reason Apple is essential is because it couldn't be shut down. So thinking about that, who's the real enemy here? It's not this virus, it's the government. Everybody is fighting for their survival, okay? So to survive and to thrive, we all deserve to survive and thrive. And so the way that I found is through the stock market, okay? Because the important thing about the stock market is, one, it is virtual. It cannot be and will not be shut down, all right? It's not a physical place. And the other thing is, it's a liquid situation. It's very, very challenging. It takes tremendous amount of energy to start a business, to grow a business, to shut it down, to open it up, things like that. But you can buy and sell a stock in an instant. You don't have to rebuild that business. If one stock you go into is not working, you can sell it and go into something else. It's very, very simple. It's a press of a button. And the other thing of it being an equalizer is there are all these protests and complaints, let's put it this way, about the state of the world and lack of equality and things like that. I'm going to tell you something. One place that is totally, totally equal financially as far as an opportunity is the stock market. All you need is a name, a social security number, and to be 18 or older. And you can open up an account. You can press a button. You don't have to go on an interview. Look at that. I think I look pretty super here. Feel free to comment on how super I look and how super I sound, I mean, I'm a survivor and a thriver. So I'm here to help you guys be both of that also and exceed in terms of financial strength, along with your spiritual strength and your mental strength. Okay, so anyway, I think this is good for part 1. Enjoy this, rewatch it, and then I'll make a part 2. Okay, guys.